Hello again, and now I'm going to make a small, short and sweet guide on how to optimize your Blade and Soul so that you can get the maximum performance of what you have. So first of all, if you use an NVIDIA card, for example a 1060, or in my case I use a 970, you want to go to your NVIDIA control panel over here, and then you click on Manage 3D Settings. Then there are global settings and program settings. So in global settings, normally if you scroll down, it'll start here, you scroll down a little bit, there's a power management mode. This thing normally is on optimal power, so you want to switch that to maximum performance. And then the second thing that you want to do is you want to go to program settings here, and then there's this tick thing that you want to say show only programs found on this computer. That'll make sure that you only have your games here. If you don't have this ticked, you'll get a bazillion games like that, you know, and it's just a pain in the butt to go through. So you want to tick that, and then you find Blade and Soul. If you play on the Chinese server like me, it'll be Blade and Soul bracket China. And then again, you scroll down here, and you'll see Power Management, and make sure that it's under Prefer Maximum Performance. And then save this, and then launch Blade and Soul. Make sure not to have Blade and Soul open like what I have and start tinkering with these. It's because I have these settings already saved, and then I opened up the game just to save time for this video. Okay, so now that you're in the game, there are other things to see. Let's say you're still losing frames, like you still find it laggy, then press O to bring up the options. First thing that you want to do is you want to go to graphics, and then add default settings, and make sure that you have show frame rate. When you tick show frame rate, the frame rate will come up here on the top left corner. You can see here, right now I have 65 FPS. You can limit your frame depending on how much FPS you want. But for example, the monitor that I use is an Acer G-Sync monitor. So it's 60 frames G-Sync, but I put it at 65 just because if it does dip a little bit, you know, it won't. I just prefer it this way. But technically, I only need to put it on 60 like that. And then you click apply. So once you've applied that, you want to take a look and make sure that your FPS is constant. In my case, you know, nothing really is happening. There's no players here, just NPCs. So yeah, my FPS is 60 to 59 at lowest. Then you want to go to advanced settings. Let's say you're still dropping frames. The most easiest way to make sure that you get the best frame rate is ticking optimize for combat, or the first option. Once you tick this, it'll do all these settings for you, but I'll let you compare. So let me see, don't save. So this is how the game looks now on my settings. And then this is how the game looks with optimized for combat. You can see that you can see a lot further, and there's like no fog and stuff, but like the ground to me looks a little bit ugly. So I'll untick that and apply back my regular settings. And you can see it's, you know, it's a lot more softer. It really depends on your personal preference. If you want maximum frame rates and you don't really care about how pretty the game looks, then just tick that, and then you should be fine. If you do care about how your game looks, then what I do is I lower the shadow visibility and shadow level to 1, because in big fights, like in 6-man dungeons or 24-man dungeons, I really don't care what the shadows look like. So I turn those off, and then I keep everything else on. I don't have this ticked, but I guess I could. Let's see how it looks. See, the difference is really marginal, so I don't see the difference, so I keep that turned off. Water effects, lighting effects, physics, I like these. Motion blur is okay, like I'm so-so with it, so I'd keep that on, but I don't need high quality. And then FXAA is always on. Then quality settings, I don't really know what this is. I guess let's see what happens at 4. I guess it just looks a little bit smoother, but I really don't see a difference. You could tell my frames dropped when I moved this way a bit. So it went from 60 to 54. So I'll keep that down to 1. So installing the game on a solid state drive will save some time on the loading screen. I used to play this game on my regular hard drive, which took about 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds per loading screen. And then after putting it on an SSD, it's about 15 seconds. It really depends. Like, if you have a solid state drive with the extra space, then go ahead and do it. If not, you know, it's no big deal, because it's just loading screens, right? And that's about it, really. I don't have much changed, you know? It's quite simple. Anyway, I hope that these changes help you get the most out of the game, and that's it. Have fun. Bye-bye.